Welcome into Woodward Sports and The Hook. Tom Mazaway, Pilar Lastra, who will be here shortly, I promise you, and Darren McCarty in the house with our favorite Tigers manager, at least mine, for a long, long time. It's Jim Leyland joining us on Armando Galarraga Day. How are you, Jim?
I'm doing good. How are you?
We're doing good. We miss you around town. Where you been these days?
Well, I appreciate it. I'm in Pittsburgh, where I live, my home. I am going up to Toledo to see the Mudhens, our AAA team, here next week. And I've been to Erie, so I've been up to Toledo a couple of times already, but basically in Pittsburgh.
Coach, what do you remember the most about 11 years ago, the Armando Galarraga? And obviously, I always make the joke that at least he got a Corvette for it, but it's really disappointing to me because in this replay day and age, that would have never happened, and we'd have a perfect game on the books. How did you see that?
Well, that's true. I mean, but it is what it is. I mean, we didn't have it at the time. If we had replay, you're right. We had a perfect game on the books. But I think what I remember most about it probably is the next day and how upset Jim Joyce was with himself after the game that night. And then Galarraga taking the lineup card up the next day and kind of diffused the fans' irritation with the whole situation. It was really a beautiful scene, really, to be honest with you, the next night as opposed to the ugly scene the night before, because Armando handled it so well, and Jim Joyce legitimately just felt terrible about it. And hey, it was a judgment, it was a human error, and that's part of the game of baseball. And we didn't have anything to rectify that at the time, so it is what it is.
I even saw the Indians players kind of grasp their heads in disbelief and upset, but you got to play to the last out, and they did. And I remember you came out the first time, and you kind of just said something to them. You didn't lower the boom on them until after the game. What'd you say to him the first time?
Well, I just told him, Jim, you missed it. How could you miss this call? And he didn't think he did at the time, obviously. But there's really not a whole lot you can say. You're upset. You're upset for your team. You're upset for the pitcher, obviously. In that case, Armando Galarraga. It's just a reaction. That's what happens when you're a manager. Sometimes a player, but more so a manager. But that's all kind of gone by the wayside now because of the replay. You don't really have many arguments anymore.
I got to ask you this: even though they have replay now, doesn't it really it would have still took away from the moment if they had to go look at it? It's like every time they have a run now, every time they do anything, I have to wait for the damn replay. What do you think of the whole replay process in baseball?
Well, I like the fact that generally, 99.9% of the time, I think they do get it right, and the team that's supposed to get the right call gets it, and the fan base is supposed to get the right call gets it. So I think there's certainly some merit to it. It can be irritating at times because of the process taking a little too long or whatever it may be. But I think at the end of the day, if I'm the manager and the Detroit Tigers, should win the game, they deserve to win the game by the rules. And I think, it shouldn't be decided by, a call like that. But so I think I kind of like replay, to be honest with you, because like I said, I think the team that's supposed to get the right call for that particular play gets it, and then generally that means that the game, was won or lost fair and square. So I think there's some merit to it. There is some times when it gets a little aggravating and a little bit boring, to be honest with you, while they're waiting. When it appears on TV that the call, you can see it, but they have so many more different angles than just the one or so that comes on TV, so it's not always that easy.
We're talking a long-time Tigers manager, Jim Leyland, here. And my question, Jim, is from the manager's perspective on the job A.J. Hinch is doing, because it's been tough times for Tigers fans, obvious for any Detroit sports fans lately. But can you tell us a little bit, maybe from a manager's eye, the job you see him doing and what he's doing so well? I'm looking over at Maz and laughing because we swept his Yankees, and that really is like sort of a highlight for us Tiger fans. But there is some progress happening, not just in the minors. But can you, from your manager's eye, talk about A.J. Hinch and the job he's done so far?
Well, I think he's doing a good job. I think he came in and he kind of crawled before he walked. I think he kind of wanted to see what was there in spring training. You can always look in the wintertime and see the guys and look at the numbers and the statistics and everything, but you really never know players until you get with them. It was the same way when I took over in 2006. I knew those guys. I knew they had a talented team, but I didn't really know what made them tick and everything. So I think he kind of started crawling, and then all of a sudden, during the spring training process, he started to get closer to the team and been figuring out what guys can do what. And I think that even trickled into the season. I think he was waiting to get an idea about his bullpen for sure, and I think he's done a great job. I think and we are better. We still have ways to go, obviously, but we are better. But I think you're seeing the fruits of labor of the pitching coaches in the past and the pitching coach now. With the Scooble and the Mize, it looks like they're starting to come into their own. I think they've done a terrific job. I think the hitting coach, Scott Kubal, after a slow start with the hitters, right after the first few games, they weren't hitting very well, but he's taught patience to them and a better two-strike approach. And so I think all in all, our leadership is terrific right now. I think we're in good hands, and I think we do have some better talent. Scope's coming around right now. He's a bona fide big league player. I mean, look at his track record.
Gold Glove.
So yeah, I think they're really doing a good job, and I think they're buying into AJ's, winning philosophy and what it takes to win. I think he's firm enough, but yet he understands the game and understands people very well. So I think we're in good hands. I think things are looking up. We have a ways to go, but if that pitching continues to click, our pitching's been pretty good, and now the bullpen's coming around. Funkhauser, who had kind of failed in his last times, is really doing good. Holland came back last night, struck out quite a few guys in 2 innings, so on 95. So I think they got some things figured out. It took them a while to get their bullpen in sync, but right now they look like they're, all systems go.
You think Michael Fulmer is a closer to be?
Well, I think he can be. I think the only thing you ever worry about, is how many games can you close in a row? I mean, you got to be able to close a couple in a row for sure. Sometimes 3 days in a row, you got to be able to use your closer as long as it's not overtaxed. But if his health holds up, and it looks like it will, the knee and everything, he's had some surgeries, and if that holds up, I think that that he's got a chance to be an outstanding closer. The one thing is always, how long can a guy do it? How many times can he do it? And I think he's definitely got a chance to do it. And I still really like Soto. He's been kind of up and down, but you got a left-hander throwing 98, 99 miles an hour. That's almost in the Chapman category. So I think they're getting a lot better towards the tail end of the bullpen, and I think if they can get a little more consistency out of Cisnero, I think they got a chance to have a real good late-inning bullpen.
That team of yours back in 06 to 14, I know you left in 13, but that was a hell of a run for this team, and it was probably the best run by any Tigers team. If you can look back in history, it had been to the playoffs 9 times since World War II, and you guys went the most. But I still can't shake that Sunday night off in Fenway Park with that stinking David Ortiz up at the plate. What a phenomenal team, and I'm not meaning to bring it down or whatever, but do you still have nightmares about that night?
No, I don't have nightmares. It is what it is. I had a chance to go with Coke or my best reliever, Joaquin Benoit. Well, was my best reliever, just like John Farrell did in that series. He used his closer for 5 or 6 outs, and I just felt like he was our best late-inning pitcher, and he threw the pitch he wanted to throw. He just didn't get it where he wanted to, and that was a backbreaker. There's no question about it. I thought that was probably actually our best team.
Yes.
I think, in 2013.
Yes.
But I do remind people of this. I think, when we went to Boston, we said, we got to come out of here with a split. Well, we still did come out with a split, even though we blew that game, the second game. So I thought that was a killer. Don't get me wrong, but I think the icing on the cake was really we came back home 1-1, and we got beat 1-0. We didn't score a run in the Verlander game, and
that was Lester, right? Wasn't that Lester?
That was Lester.
Yeah.
No, that was Lackey, I think.
Oh, Lackey, yeah. That guy was playoff tough, man.
Yeah, I think it was Lackey, and they beat us 1-0. Napoli hit a home run. It was the only run they got, and we didn't score any runs, and that was really the game that I thought killed us.
Skip, just came into my head to ask you this because you are in Pittsburgh, so it brought up the The Javi Baez, the Cubs Pirates
Last
play
week.
the other day. Have you ever seen anything like that in baseball where there's 2 outs and guy from the first baseman tries to run him back and all that stuff? Have you ever seen anything, maybe not even in Little League ball, but was that amazing even to you?
No, I have seen that before. I have seen a guy run back towards home plate. Now I haven't seen the results that came about. But I have seen guys backpedal toward home plate, and the guy ends up tagging him, or they go tag first base. But I think everybody missed the point on that play, in my opinion. First of all, I was embarrassed for the kid. I feel bad.
Of course,
people were on him, and I think it was just, it just didn't need to happen. He made a mistake, yes, but I think the mistake that was made was, and a lot of people don't know this either, not just the player. What happened was he didn't know the rule, is what happened, and neither did a lot of people. I think when he got him going back so far and close to home plate, when he saw the runner coming in to slide in home plate, he panicked and flipped the ball to the catcher, thinking they were going to score a run. Well, that run would not have counted had he tagged that runner or just gone to tag first base. That run still would not have counted. So I think he panicked because I think he didn't know the rule, and I think he thought the run would have counted, and I think that's the thing that ended up botching the whole play up.
Man, before we let you go, that hits it right on the head.
That's a great point.
That hits it right on the head.
That I don't think anybody brought to attention, and so coming straight from Jim Leyland, that's
pretty good.
No, that's phenomenal. Thank you.
Last thing, Jim. 2006. I think, to me, one of the greatest days in Detroit sports history was Maglio Ordonez's walk-off home run, and the celebration and the way this town. It was just all navy blue and orange. I mean, that day, I still get the chills from that day. Take us back to that day.
Well, I'll take you back a step further. I think what was amazing was we blew the division, and we ended up getting the wild card. We literally blew the division. We should have won the division. I think we had a 6-0 lead in that one game, and we let it get away. And then we lose the first game of the playoffs as a wild card team, and I think everybody just kind of wrote us off. And a lot of people forget that after losing that first game of the playoffs, we won 7 straight postseason games. We swept the Yankees from there on out. We beat them 3 straight, and then we beat Oakland 4 straight. So, that was just a climatic end of an unbelievable season, a great season. And you're right. I mean, that stadium in Detroit that day at Comerica Park when Maglio hit the home run was probably one of the greatest moments of my life, and I'm sure it was a lot of Detroit fans.
Yep.
So, that goes down. That's right up there at the top of my list. So it was quite a day.
It was, Jim. We really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you very much, Skip.
Armando Galarraga, do you get a chance to talk to him anymore?
No, I haven't talked to him anymore. I hope he's still driving that Corvette they gave him.
I'm sure he is, and we appreciate you.
All right, well, great talking to you guys.
Thank you very
right,
much.
thanks.
Jim Leyland, man. Love him.
Best.
Second to none, that guy.
Second to none. And you know what? It's a good thing he's got the memory, because the poor guy, you just nail him down. You get him in a corner, and he'd be telling you stories for days.
I didn't even get a chance to even talk.
I know you didn't. We had to be respectful of the man's time.
I didn't get a chance to even talk Medina Spirit with him, because this guy is a big horse player. Loves the horses.
Well,
I used to see him at Hazel Park in Northville Downs. Him and who's his bench coach? Gene Lamont.
And I used to run into him at Greektown all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
he loved the Wheel of Fortune slots.
hey, thanks to Jim
a lot,
Leyland for
Skip.
joining us on Armando Galarraga Day. We'll be back with more on The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
Man.